Morning. It's Wednesday, March 16th. Gotta keep the music turned down, you know. Check this out. Oh, you can barely see it. It's my new advertisement with this is my new thing with all the advertisements on there, but you can't see it. I know what I'll do. I'll make it an overlay. Add overlay. That'll work. Hopefully you can't hear the music in the background because they get mad about that. Now let's see if this works here. Look at this if I get a chance. If you're going to be watching this later, thanks for watching whatever time you get the chance. Hey, there we go. Check it out. Uh-oh. That might be the boss. We got a minute and 20 seconds. I don't know how to spell morning. Time for some coffee. Bob will be here in a little bit. The face. I'm the mouth. He's the face. Yeah. 45 seconds ago, we get into it. Good morning, David. How are you? Look at you. You're on there. Self-proclaimed mouth, by the way. I know a lot of people feel that, but hey, you got a mouth, might as well use it for more than sucking. Ooh. Multifaceted woman here. All right. Good morning, David. Good to see you.
On the air. Make sure you download it now. 9397 Network.
Initiating a launch sequence.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have a liftoff.
Oh, wrong mouse, wrong screen, right mouse. A lot of things to go on here. I need a board operator. We're legit hiring somebody that wants to be on the air. Oh, hey, wait a minute. Watch this.
.93.97 Network and Hot 93.97 presents Sapphire'S Soup du Jour with Just Bob, stirring the pot and serving the latest soup. Brought to you by Haylove Saloon, Adam's Apple, Janet'sCloset.com, and Janet'sDungeon.com.
See? All right, enough of that. Good morning indeed. It is Wednesday, March 16th. I think it's, mid-March. Look at that. A day before St. Patty's Day. St. Patrick's Day. Are you celebrating? Are you allowed to? Are you going to get butthurt if one of your friends celebrates who shouldn't be, quote unquote? Are we allowed to eat lasagna any longer without, can we call it Italian food if we're not Italian? Where's the bell? There it is. Oh, good morning, everybody. I'm Sapphire'S. From Sapphire'S Soup du Jour, we are stirring the pot and serving the latest soup. It is Wednesday. Happy to be here. Just Bob will be along in a little bit. The face, I'm the mouth of the North, self-proclaimed. We're going to start today with some important things, okay? Today, we're going to start with something very important. We're going to start with some facts, and we're going to start with making sure that our volumes are right, because it's first thing in the morning here. We want to make sure everything's rolling along nice and good. Some facts, and we're going to start all right with making sure good enough, maybe a little more background music. Just a smidge, just an RCH. If they're, there we go. That might be better. All right, we are live on the radio on 93.97 network on the app, right? Hot 93.97 if you wanted to be official about it. We're also live streaming. We're doing some new things here. Live streaming on Sapphire'S Soup du Jour's Facebook page, 93.97 Network's Facebook page, 93.97 Network's YouTube page. You got to go in the video tab, I believe, to find it on the Facebook, but on the YouTube. More importantly, the 93.97 Network YouTube page and the 93.97 Network app to listen when you can't view. But what's nice about the live stream is you can chime in with comments and be part of the conversation. You know, like David is chiming in. Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm not going to repeat what you just said here, but it's up there for the viewers to see if they want to. Oh, referring to the mouth comment. Okay. Yeah. Let me turn this heater down a little. In fact, let me turn it off because it's loud. I had no idea how loud it was. My goodness. Now I had no idea how cold it is in here until I turned the heater off in my rear end. Oh, Lordy, Lordy. All right. We start today with the fact of the matter. 92,000 people died in the United States from drug-involved overdoses in 2020, right? And many of these are what we consider a drug addict, right? But we don't understand that it's all parts of society, especially today. And it's something we're going to address today. And we're going to address not just how many people, right? It's gone up and up and up every year, right? I believe 100,000 people. So in a 12-month period ending in April of 2021. So from April of 2020 to April of 2021, 100,000 people, 306 died from overdose deaths in the United States alone, up 28.5% from the 78,056 deaths during the same period the year before. Sorry about the noise, but I need the heater on my rear end here. So, for what reason? You know, for what reason? There's many different reasons. And we're going to break it down in a sit around the table conversation having coffee. First, we're going to talk about something that I didn't really buy into until Monday afternoon. The Narcan or Narcan. I did a story a couple months ago, maybe a year ago or so, about the owner of the inventor of Narcan. I'm going to call it Narcan. Okay, that's what I'm going to call it. He actually saved somebody who had overdosed while they were walking down the street. The inventor of the product actually used it on someone and saved them. Amazing use of your product and everything, but nobody wants to have to use it, right? I've never been a fan of just openly having Narcan, okay? But there's deep-rooted things we have to delve into here. One, it's not all about what I like, right? It's not all about that. Quite honestly, I always felt that Narcan should not have been just able to be given out. I felt it was an invitation to say it's an acceptance of using drugs. We have to understand our society. We've talked jokingly many, many, many times about the drinking and how it goes all the way back to Jesus turned water into wine, and we've been altering our senses since the beginning of time. It's not always an escape from a miserable existence. We have a stereotypical view, many people, of a drug addict, right? And we don't understand that now drugs are being poisoned, right? Fentanyl, other things that are deadly. You're no longer able to trust what's being given you. And it's not like the 70s, people are dangerous. You can't just go get stuff from somebody and not think what is in this. And there comes a time when you have to say, what is my goal, right? Is my goal to get high and booze or beer or marijuana is legal in not many states, in several states. And let's face it, it's been looked upon less criminally lately because people go, you know what? It's really not that big of a deal. Driving under the influence of it is a different story. About the public, I think if you smoke it, that it's your business. But I don't like the smell of it in public. If I were a pot smoker, I would not want everybody to be able to know when I walked into Applebee's or somewhere to say, oh, that girl just got done smoking a big old fatty, right? But at the same time, we don't think twice if somebody walks by you with the scent of a cigarette. We just go, oh, stinky. But we don't think much of it. And we now have to start looking at drugs the same way. So long story long, Narcan needs to be carried by places, bars, restaurants, places, tattoo parlors. No, and it's not talking bad about the clientele. It's a realization of the culture that we live in. Drugs are part of our culture. Look at the size of my coffee cup. If you're not watching on the live stream on the 9397 Network YouTube or Facebook page or Sapphire'S Soup du Jour page, or if you're listening on the 9397 app, then if you're not on the app, then download it. But you can see the size of my coffee cup. Caffeine, it's a drug. I start with it, right? I start with it. Many people wake up, they need a coffee, a cigarette, get you going, right? For the guys, it gets their bowels flowing. I had an old boss, great guys, and they own their own little business. It's now a big business, and it's still a small business, but it's a very lucrative business. And he used to brag about, I have to have a cigarette in the morning because it helps get me going. And I say, TMI, thanks for that. I'll never look at you the same way again. You're still handsome. But part of our culture. Drugs are part of our culture. There's no more, in my opinion, I'm just speaking my mind because I've known too many people that have lost their lives. I know too many people that have lost their livelihoods. I know people that have lost everything. And it's very hard to get back to a place. There's one way to prevent it. Don't do it. That one first time is the only choice you make. After that, it makes the choices for you. It's a disease, and It's something that we picture it being people with no teeth and sunken faces and dirty clothes, and they smell funny and they can't talk right and they can't make complete sentences and they haven't worked in years. And that's not the new drug addict. First of all, we're all drug addicts, whether it be coffee or any other stimulant, sugar. You can nitpick it to death. But basically, we're all on drugs. And pick your poison, right? But 100,000 people die in a year from drugs. These are prominent people in society. These are sons and daughters that are in college. These are moms and dads that work full time that you would never know did this. And they go to do one line of coke. Seems harmless, doesn't it? They've been harmless as hell. We've been doing this stuff as a society for decades, right? Cocaine in the 70s, and it's don't be blind don't be blind to it, okay? One line ain't gonna hurt you. You worked all week. Your buddy's got a line. You do a rail. You feel good for a little bit. You go, ooh, I can't afford to do that. Don't tell my wife, right? Don't tell the wife I did that. My goodness. How about there's fentanyl in that? One little line. You didn't even buy it. The guy didn't even know. In fact, he was so excited to share it with you that you did it before him. He was like, no, you don't do it very often. Here, have a rail. And then what happens? Your life comes crashing down. For nothing. You weren't homeless on the street. You weren't begging for money. You weren't going days without eating and not even know it. Two things. Three. One, this story is played out in the streets over and over again. 100,000 people in a year dying from an overdose. And David makes a point here saying that it's too much of an abuse. I might be out of line, but I feel that these dispensaries will try to get all that involved in their stores. Well, the dispensaries are going to be heavily regulated, and hopefully, David, good point, and thanks for chiming in, but hopefully they don't allow any other illicit drugs. And I know we joke about Oregon and decriminalizing, but we have, in a way, all of us have sort of decriminalized the drugs, right? It's like, well, you know, and I really believe there's a violent criminal element and then a criminal element. And a lot of your drugs, and it's hard to pick and choose, and maybe I'm uneducated, or maybe I know more than most about it. I probably don't, but I'm saying my point is, in my view, I don't care about the lawyer who buys, I don't know what they call it, 8-ball, and snorts coke on the weekend for a party with his college frat buddies. But then Monday morning, he's all business again. I don't care about that. That's not a problem to me. Heroin addicts, it drives you to steal. The addiction is so heavy, it's not you anymore. But where do you draw that line? And in today's world, this is my whole entire point. We don't know where we are getting our stuff. And you could trust your buddy. You grew up together and you know they wouldn't steer you wrong. But somebody might steer them wrong. This stuff is coming from the southern border, right? This stuff is coming from all over. It's coming from Canada. But now the bad stuff, the easiest way to get it into this country is not through Canada. It is not through New Jersey or Ellis Island. It's through the South, trying to go undetected. Florida, Louisiana, Texas. California is easy because you don't need a boat. I'm sorry, California and New Mexico, Arizona, they don't need a boat. So it's a little easier. Yeah, and David, that's the thing. When things go wrong, you go, "Where'd you get this?" And everybody wants to know. There's one key way to win this, and it's don't take the first one. If alcohol, smoking a joint, maybe smoking a joint ain't your thing. Maybe the medibles ain't your thing. People get brownies now. They have butter and oil that you put in regular stuff to cook it, and it's actually they've got the medication in it, the THC or whatever. So there's so many different ways now, but sometimes people go, "No, I tried it, it ain't for me." Other people love it. Some people go, "I'll never smoke. Why would I smoke?" Right? It's bad. There's no way in the world you can convince me smoking a joint is good for you. There's still smoke going into your lungs. It's inhalation, smoke inhalation, and it's rare, purest form. But there's also benefits to it. I am not saying there's not, but it's not good for you. What's good for you is no smoke in your lungs at all, right? But if you are in need of more than booze, and I know, who am I to decide what's drug is, where's the limit? I'm talking about my limit. If you're in need of more than your beer or a couple drinks, mixed drinks or whatever, a couple stiff Long Islands or whatever it is you like, or some marijuana or brownies or whatever, if these drugs that you know are killing people, if it's worth the risk to get high, then decisions need to be made. First of all, is there something going on in your life that we need addressed, right? Is there something you're trying to escape that you're altering your reality, or is this something to say it's recreational? If it's recreational, look each other in the eye as friends and say, we're not doing this. We're not doing it. An extra shot. I would rather that. Call an Uber. Now, as I said, my opinion, not even starting is the way to win. It solves everything. Guess how you stop the drugs from coming across the border? Not a wall, not Trump, not Biden. Supply and demand. If nobody's buying the stuff, guess what? It goes away. Buy more booze. Now, problem is this. Problem is we have a lot of our youth under the age of 21. Go ahead and believe it doesn't happen. Go ahead and believe it doesn't happen. Under the age of 21, people wanting to alter their senses. So we decided as a society that 21 years of age was a reasonable age to say it's safe for them to consume alcohol. Their brain has developed. Their brain has developed. Their bodies have developed. Now they can process this alcohol better. Now they can make more responsible drinking decisions. Now peer pressure won't play such a big part in everything. And David says, still not an excuse. If there's something going on, seek counseling, etc. Why the hell do a lie and pop a pill? Very true. But understand this, in my opinion, David, that's what we've taught. That's what our society has taught us. When I was younger, my old man didn't smoke weed, right? My old man drank beer. He would buy a fifth of Canadian Club, a fifth of peppermint schnapps, and a 30-pack of Strohs. He'd come home and go, Strohs is spoken here, drink a bunch of beers, drink a couple shots. He would do a shot of schnapps, a shot of whiskey, and he would drink his beers. He wouldn't drink the whole bottle of whiskey, right? He would do a couple, maybe 3 shots of each. So 6 shots and 30 beers. He was wasted. That's the way he rolled. Love him. He's passed away in 2010. God rest his soul. He didn't do the weed. Every now and again, we'd wake up and there'd be a plant stripped of all the things, and mom would say, oh, they got drunk and tried to smoke one. But they weren't weed smokers, right? My dad didn't do drugs and stuff like that. We didn't grow up around that. We could when we were kids, if we would have done something, they would have never known, right? But now I want to address this with the seeking counseling and stuff. We go as a society, we go to even get it out of work. That's why I was going with this with my old man. He got to work on a Friday. I worked all week. I deserve this. I worked hard. Now I'm going to play hard. Well, we know alcohol affects a lot of families, right? Alcoholism is, that's why they have Al-Anon, the families and loved ones of alcoholics. It's a devastating problem, right? I hesitate to call alcoholism a disease, although I'm not going to say it's not. I'm just not going to define it as that. I'm going to say it's certainly a very big problem. And I've lived through it. My dad was an alcoholic. God rest his soul. He recovered and had good years of life before he passed. But in our youth, that's what he did. He partied. That was what you did. You drank hard because you worked hard. That was his fun. Waking up on Saturday morning, not remembering half a Friday night. Hey, that was what we were taught. That's what we were taught. That's the way it is, right? So, besides the dream world of everybody just stops doing it, which is not going to happen, moms and dads out there, even kids listening, don't turn the dial because we're talking about drugs, because this is not a condoning conversation of them. This is someone who we just lost a dear friend. So, and this hits home to almost everybody in this country. 100,000 people in a year died of overdose. That's unacceptable numbers of people that are gone too soon that would still be here if not for one bad decision. Maybe that bad decision cost you your life immediately. Maybe that bad decision led you down the road of addiction, and even if you have recovered, God bless you if you have, but life's not the same anymore, is it? It's a constant struggle. It's like anything. When you quit smoking cigarettes, when you quit heroin, when you quit doing the hard addicting drugs, the pharmaceutical, the pills that are so addictive and stuff. It's a constant battle. Oh, David says, thank you for bringing this up. Hot topic, amazing to me. It's amazing to a lot of people. It hits home. And several times, over and over. And it ain't going to end soon. But we have to stop pretending. I had to. I was one who would sit there Sunday evening. I would have sat there and told you, no, don't put Narcan everywhere, because you know why? Because it's enabling. But you know what? No, it's not supposed to be a death sentence to be human, to be a victim of what we all are susceptible to. One bad decision. David says he quit smoking cigarettes January 1st, now on a vape. Hey, good for you. Never quit quitting. And I was fortunate. I don't even know that I had a nicotine addiction, to be honest with you. When I was younger, I smoked Marlboro. My dad smoked Marlboro Red in a box. So I'd sneak them. And the house smelled like smoke anyway. So it wasn't like I'm smoking a cigarette in the bathroom and they go, hey, wait, we smell smoke in the house. When you smoke in the house, everything in your house smells like smoke. We as children didn't know it, but we would go to school smelling like cigarettes. We had no idea. But when I came home from the desert after 120 days or whatever, I can't remember now, of being over there, I smelled smoke in everything in my home because my ex smoked. So it's something there. But it's just one of those things that we need to now. I believe if you have a restaurant, if you own a bar, if you tattoo parlors, the hookah lounges, the rock and roll concert venues, state fairs, carnivals, any public gathering of more than 20 people, you need life-saving Narcan and devices there because it's it's a pandemic. Drug addiction is a pandemic. I'm not a doctor. It's not official. I didn't read that on the CDC. But when I know more people that died from drug overdose than COVID-19, then we've got similar problem. And I'm not comparing the two because a lot more people died from COVID last year than overdose. But not everybody went and snorted a line of COVID now, did they? Or took a pill and it wasn't what you thought it was. Or you're not a chemist and you didn't know that this pill and that pill and 16 drinks were going to F you up and now you're kaput. In the name of a good time. So we need to put it into perspective. What is a good time? What are we trying to accomplish? We go out, we have our beers, we play our pool, we're drinking, where are we at? What are we trying to do, right? It's not just people in the street begging for money with scabs on their faces and no teeth going, you got a line? That's not what it is. This is the new America. So another thing we need to do, if you own a business, teach your employees CPR. It's really simple. The hardest part of CPR is getting past the uncomfortableness of an unconscious person in dire need of help. It is not pretty. It's not like you see on Law and Order. It's horrifying. Your adrenaline's rushing. Your heart's pounding out of your chest. You're shaking. But they need help. So very important. And you don't need to be told by your employer. Everybody listening, everybody watching on this live streaming that we're doing now, teach yourself. YouTube it. I mean, we can investigate better than the FBI would want to scoop on someone, right? When we want to find out the argument, we go, ooh, we can find everything then. But when it comes to this, we go, oh, I don't know how. There's different ways. When I was taught CPR by the Taylor Police Department, they taught us to, like a cellophane wrapper from a cigarette pack or something, you poke a hole in it, you put it over their lips so that you don't transfer stuff. If you're worried about an overdosing person drooling and it's disgusting and it's scary and it's horrifying and someone take their shirt off, rip a hole in it like a donut and put it over their face. You're covering their nose and mouth anyway. You're not going to suffocate them. You're going to about to break their damn sternum when you're giving them CPR. A little bit of suffocation is okay. The hardest part is getting past that. Doing the actual chest compressions, which is the most important of it all. If nothing else, chest compressions until the EMS can get there. It's police do it every day, but they don't make the news for that. But man, when we local citizen Jill Schmo or Joe Schmo do it, we call him a hero. Well, police pull up to the scene of an infant choking and the parents freaking out, right? And they give the Heimlich maneuver to the baby and the parents go, oh my God, if it wasn't for you, learn these life-saving things. Learn them. You shouldn't have to be told by your employer to learn it. But we're so focused on other things that we have to really stop worrying about what the government has told us to worry about Like, what color am I? Where am I from? What am I packing between my legs, and what bathroom do I go in? Who gives a crap? You're lucky you're not in Ukraine. They'll blow a woman out of the men's room just like anything. So, perspective. And I sit here today talking about me changing my point of view because of a life experience that I just experienced through a friend of mine. And now I say, I want to find out where I can get some Narcan so I have it in my car in case I encounter it, because the chances are I will. I love going to bars. I love going to sporting events where a bunch of people go. I love going to parties and stuff like that. Am I so stupid to think if I'm around 100 or 1,000 or 20,000 people, there's not somebody on drugs there? But it's an uncomfortable subject. And, you know, it's everybody that's listening right now, everybody that's watching right now, whether you're, I don't think you can hear us in Russia. They were one of our top 5 to 7 countries listening every month, but now, not so sure Mr. Putin's punk ass will let them listen to me. But guess what? If NATO goes and they need me, this trainee's coming on a C-130, coming to see ya. They'd be like, there's a transmission on a C-130? No, but we got a plane full of trainees coming for you, Putin. All the transgenders in the military on a C-130 going to bitch slap Vladimir Putin. Wait, that's exactly what Elon Musk wants to do. Elon Musk has challenged him to a fight. No joke. He took to Twitter the other day, and let me see if I can find this story real quick. Elon Musk challenged Putin to a fight. I mean, I don't know if I can find the story or not, but let me see if I can real quick. People are being a little bit critical of it because they're saying, you know what? This is a publicity stunt, Elon. Well, maybe he's raising money to save world hunger, you smart butt. Where are we at? Oh, let me get there. Saved the day. Didn't go over into our music. Have the ability to control it when I have control of it. I can't find the story. Doesn't matter. Elon Musk challenged Vladimir Putin to single combat. The stakes? Ukraine. People are getting on him saying, oh, that's a publicity stunt. Well, of course it is. But I'll bet he means it. But I'll tell you something. I bet Vladimir can fight. I bet he's no pushover. He likes to show how he can fish with his shirt off and everything. I believe he's a scrapper. So therefore, no, I won't say it. There's a force continuum. If he can beat you up, you can use the level of force needed to end the threat. So NATO and the United States and everybody in the world needs to develop the same philosophy. We're going to do what we need to do and nothing more to stop this threat, which means Putin's ass. All right, we are going to break. It is 7:38 on a Wednesday morning Eastern time. What time is it over in Ukraine? 2:38, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. I did math in public, see? It is 2:38 in Ukraine. What a terrible tragedy over there. All right, we're going to break. You're listening to Sapphire'S Soup du Jour on Hot 93.97. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, you already know. We're here
All right, don't go anywhere. We're going to be back in about 20 minutes or so, but I've got videos for you to watch now. Well, video for you to watch now. So we'll be back. I'll be back in and out. So don't go nowhere. If you do, we'll come back in about 20 minutes or so. We got a lot more to talk about. Not the whole show is going to be depressing, but we have to talk about, I don't even need that in front of me. We need to talk about the drug issue in this world, in this country. We're all experiencing it. So you may not even know it, but sons and daughters are dropping and they don't need to be. So, all right, we'll be back. Hello, I'm back. We're not back yet, but I'm back. We got 30 seconds of Big Popeye in the background. Oh, not enough coffee on this Wednesday. I keep thinking it's Thursday. I was going to wear my St. Patty's Day gear. Appropriate a culture that ain't mine. Break the law. Get on PC prison. PC principal going to call me out.
Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back.
All right, we're back indeed on a Wednesday morning. Nothing going on but cooking. We got a lot of stuff cooking today. We started out with a very near and dear topic to not only my heart, but a lot of people's heart. Drug addiction, drug abuse, drug use. Not all people that are dying from drugs using them are addicts. Not all addicts run around with scabs on their face and no teeth begging for money. We have to change our ideology of what we're dealing with. Drug addicts are not the only ones dying from drugs. Drug users are dying from drugs. It's not an overdose. It's a dose of something you didn't buy, right? If you bought cocaine and there's fentanyl in it, you didn't overdose on cocaine. You overdosed on fentanyl, right? That you were never supposed to be ingesting to begin with because that wasn't part of the process. You don't know what you're taking. Don't do it. But let's not be so stupid as to think that's going to be the way it is. So if you're an employer, if you hang around cool people, you don't know who's using, you don't know the accountant, you don't know the lawyer, the doctor, the anything. We expect our rock and roll stars to be drug addicts, but not our lawyers, not our doctors, not the prominent people in society, right? Well, we're going to put something across the bottom here. A number, not just for you, the user, but what about somebody who knows somebody? There's ways to help not be an enabler, even though you may not be able to be a preventer. And I'm speaking way out of my league. All I'm doing is bringing awareness to drug use is deadly. We don't think of it that way, right? We think of drug addiction as deadly. No, you could literally do one line of coke. If it's laced with the wrong stuff, you're out. It's not worth it. All right, I'm going to keep popping this number up. If you're not watching, it's confidential free help from public health agencies to find substance use treatment, not abuse, substance use treatment. So you don't have to be, oh, I'm an addict, I'm scratching my scabs. No, that's a stereotype. You'd be working a 9 to 5. You could be working a 9 to 9. You could 6 a week. Criteria today of our drug problem. We have non-addicted, what we call them, people dying from using a drug laced with something different. This isn't the degradation of your body from years of use and abuse. So let's focus on it. The information you can get is from this number, 1-800-662-HELP or 4357, 1-800-662-4357. If you or a loved one or someone you know, or maybe you just want to get guidance on the information so that when you do come across this issue, you'll know how to handle it. If you have children, if you have teenagers, you need to get on top of learning these things to prevent the first choice being made. That's the doozy. After that, you have no control. Understand that. All right. We're sponsored by Adam's Apple, the Cheers of the LGBT bars in Detroit. Hey Love Saloon, where men meet men and everybody's welcome. Nothing like going to play a good game of pool, having a good long pool cue in your hand, stroke the cue while you're playing, you know. Janet's Closet, go to janetscloset.com. Discreet shipping, all your sexy needs from makeup to bras to everything you can want. They've got stuff for the men. They got Janet's Dungeon. They got ball gags. They got restraints. They've got toys up the butt. Literally. So make sure you go check them out. Janet'sDungeon.com, Janet'sCloset.com. If you're ever in the Detroit area, check out Adam's Apple or Hey Love Saloon, or just go to their Facebook page and see what it's all about. And then you'll know what a cool bar is and a place to have fun and hang out with good people, right? So, all right. So I was saying it earlier about Elon Musk challenging Vladimir Putin to a fight, right? He did this on Twitter where he even spelled Vladimir Putin's name in Russian to single combat. The stakes are Ukraine, he wrote. Now, he tweeted something else, but I don't know what it was. Oh, do you agree to this fight? So he's being slammed for it as a publicity stunt to draw attention to a bad and harsh situation. Well, yeah, but don't think because you have a lot of money, you don't have an opinion about world affairs. And even a billionaire like Elon Musk could look at Putin and go, what a scumbag. What a no good for nothing scumbag. So there was a group of hackers, of all people, that have been, they initiated a cyber war against President Putin. Thereafter, Elon Musk verbally, they're saying he has no authority regarding the legal status of statehood and sovereignty of Ukraine. People are suffering, innocents are being killed, cities are being bombed, women and children are dying. Elon pushes a publicity stunt. Shame on you. Well, okay, maybe it is, but maybe it's just a person, human being, that says, this makes me so mad, I want to punch him in the face. I'd love to punch him in the face. If you wouldn't like to punch him in the face, I would go, why? I know, more severe, but ladies remain ladies, and we will let, hopefully, the world court of law decide his fate once he turns himself in peacefully. Yeah. Like that'll happen. Oh my goodness. So Volodymyr Zelensky I'm sure he would like to fight him too. Volodymyr Zelensky, president of Ukraine, is addressing the United States Congress today. Okay. First of all, this should not be public knowledge. I'm all for us seeing it, but the fact that they're putting it all over the place, and I know you're going to go, but Sapphire, he's in an undisclosed location. You think Russia doesn't have anybody in there intelligence-wise saying, a large mass of elite forces have gathered from here, now they're moving here. Isn't that weird? That's just hours before this press conference is set to take place. Let's do something there because we think we might get a chance to inflict bodily harm to popular people. In other words, don't give them an opportunity to bomb the president of Ukraine, okay? This should be breaking news. We should not know about this. This should be breaking news. President Zelensky addresses the U.S. Congress live right now. Boom, it's a surprise to the whole world except for the people doing it. But no, we're giving opportunity. See, we're all enamored in this war. It's a romantic war. Oh, Ukraine's doing such a good job, and they are. But it's the people are dying in the streets. It's ugly. We're sitting here glamorizing it, going, oh, damn, them Ukrainians sure are tough. They're fighting for their lives. You be tough too. Backed into a corner, scared to death, starving, not knowing what's next. So Zelensky is going to address the United States Congress at a set time, and I disagree. I love that he's addressing Congress, but let's be more discreet about this. The American people do not need to know ahead of time so that your ratings can go up, CNN and Fox and all the other networks, to announce it. Now it's just not a matter of when, it's just a matter of where. Now it's an easier crapshoot. What if you didn't know when, but you knew where, but you bombed at the wrong time? What if you didn't know where, but you knew when? But now you can take an educated guess with intelligence to say, we know when, now it's just guessing where. I guess I don't understand life. I don't know. So Zelensky's going to address Congress. Russia's inching closer to Kiev. I got mouse in one hand, wrong mouse in this hand. I should have two mice in one hand, or would it be one mouse in two hands, or two mouse in one? I don't know. Who knows? Now, according to, and this is, we're not beating we're not going to talk about the war all day. Russians that are being captured.
After pioneering photographic film, we made it our mission.
Okay, we don't need any of that, Hunky. Russians being captured are saying, we can't go back. We don't like what's going on, but we can't surrender. There's no, like in America, a conscientious objector, right? You could literally go to your boss and go, hey, I'm done. I'm not fighting. You're going to get a dishonorable discharge. You're going to go home to your family. You're going to get a job, and you're going to go on with your life with a little bit of disgrace and humility on your record of not wanting to fight in a war that you call unjust. Okay, guess what happens in Russia if you go back home and tell Vladimir Putin you don't want to fight in a war anymore? Right, you're freaking dead. Go ahead and complain about this country more. Keep complaining about this country. Go ahead. So the Russian troops cannot go back because they'll be killed, right? Don't act like they're going, oh no, they'll be imprisoned. No, they won't. They'll be killed. You'll never hear from them again. That's how the regimes do it. That's the beauty of America. You can stand there in front of the White House and protest your ass off. Yell and scream and carry on like a damn fool. And nobody's going to say nothing as long as you don't break the law. That's it, right? Hell, you can break into the Capitol and do all that. We don't even shoot you. Not that I'm saying it should have happened, but we have rights in this country that we take for granted now, that were fought for by our forefathers. And we forget all that now, right? I'm more worried about if you got a penis or a vagina. Stupid. Absolutely stupid. So, you know, Speaking of, we talked earlier the heavy part of drugs. The reality of it, it's heavy. The reality of it is drugs are killing good people. What? At least when you have a disease, you get cancer or you get a disease, you go, well, you can't blame anybody, right? I mean, it's a disease, it's a horrible thing, but drugs, we choose one time to do it and then it takes over our body. It's not worth it. Don't do that one time. Think about it. It's not just one line. It's not just one pill. You may not be able to come back from it. Is it worth it? Is life so bad that you're taking a chance? There's 2 M&Ms on the table. One's poison, certain death, and one's good. You grabbing it? 2 M&Ms. I used to do the 1,000 M&Ms. There's 10 out of 100,000. No, there's 2 M&Ms. One's going to kill you when it touches your tongue, and one's going to be fine. Take your pick. They're both your favorite color M&M. Which one you choosing? Because that's what you're doing when you snort a line. Just one line. No, Mary, it's not. It could be the last one. So ask yourself. You're the only one who can answer that question. Is it worth it? When you look down and you got your credit card out and you got that line all perfect and you go, it looks so good. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? If it's worth it, you do need to call this number right here. 800-662-4357 STAT. And I'm not joking. It's not worth it. There's nothing so bad that you have to die for. All right, enough of that. Apple Park campus in Cupertino, Santa Clara area, right? Somewhere, Apple headquarters, evacuated after first responders discovered an envelope containing a white powder substance. 1972, party time at Apple Park. 2022, we're triggered. We're scared to death of anything. Is it cocaine or is it anthrax? I don't know. Stick your face in there and find out. That's what we're doing now. Santa Clara County Fire Department's incident report shows there was a fire alarm and a hazmat response. Who finds an envelope of white stuff and pulls a fire alarm? There's somebody who's been wanting to pull the fire alarm forever, just waiting for an excuse. I've never come across a fire in a public building, but hey, now I can do it and not get in trouble. This is why it says the mouth across the screen if you're watching me on the live stream. And thanks for watching. Whether you tuned in real time or in the future, we thank you for listening and or watching. And we wonder what is wrong with you to sit here for 3 hours and watch me run my gums. So this is like a South Park episode, right? Just after noon, local time. So it would have been 3 o'clock, just after 3 in my area of Michigan. Apple's headquarters gets a fire alarm pulled and a hazmat response. This is like South Park. There's an envelope of white stuff. Now, it's a good idea because you don't know what it is. So touching it, what is it? I don't know. Stick your finger in there. Lick your finger, stick it in there, and taste it. Not a good idea. Best thing to do, don't touch it. Once you see what it is, wash your hands. Call the fire department. I guess, you know what? Maybe it's not an overreaction, but the thing is, a fire alarm makes people go to fire exits, and you don't want people walking by this envelope. So you should have just gone and said, hey, we need to evacuate everybody, keep them out of this area, instead of pulling a fire alarm and having everybody doing like just running around crazy like Keystone Cops, you know. Apple did not comment, but there have the situation's under control. Employees are allowed to go back inside. It is unclear what the substance may have been. Sounds like something's not being told. I can't imagine it's anything of a big deal. I would have to imagine if it was something like anthrax or deadly, they would have told people, right? Because you got to go get checked out or whatever. But I don't know. Better to be safe than sorry. Yeah. We're going to be talking later on today in a little bit about breatharianism. Breatharianism. What the hell is breatharianism? Well, it's a thing. We're going to combine breatharianism with hypocrisy, and we're going to compare the two. See, we talked about poor life choices, and I've got one for you. Now, I'm going to make an extravagant intro. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Poor life choices by. But for now, what was that? I think Bob might have just entered the room. If not, somebody entered Bob's room and the microphone's on. So hopefully that's him. Either that or we have a ghost in here, which is completely possible too. All right. Poor Life Choices by Dylan Langford. Dylan is a 30-year-old who was arrested. Hello, Bob.
Good morning.
How are you?
I am okay. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous.
Excellent.
Good. We're talking about Poor Life Choices with
Yes,
Dylan Langford, 30-year-old, arrested just after 10 p.m. Monday in Franklin, Tennessee. Yeah. He's back in jail after another DUI arrest.
Oh, come on.
It's true.
How many does it say? I just wonder because sometimes you hear stories about people who are arrested again after like 8 or 9 times, and it's like, how does that happen?
Well, he's not quite there yet.
No.
This was his 5th.
Oh, okay. Only 5th. Okay.
Yeah. So he's got at least 3 or 4 more before they actually put him in jail for it, right? So he gets pulled over. The trooper determines he was impaired, takes him into custody. They find 35 empty beer cans and bottles in his car. Some were open. Now, violation of the implied consent law, having an open alcohol beverage in his vehicle, a stop sign or a red light, and drunk driving for the 5th time. They set his bond at $22,000.
Well,
Well,
he could almost pay that.
yeah, but you go stab somebody in the face with a soldering iron and you get $5,000 bail.
Right. I mean, five-timer on the DUI thing needs some more serious punishment. However, stabbing somebody in the eye also requires a lot more serious punishment than that. There's no consistency a lot of times with what's going on from judge to judge.
Absolutely. It's ridiculous sometimes. You go, how, like you were just talking about the 8th. The guy was stealing car 8 times in a couple months. Remember? Yeah. How do you do that? How do you get away with that? How does that happen?
Yeah, not that I'm up for doing any of that. I'm just curious as to how you get away with it. Yes.
Right. And why?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's crazy. Wow. I'll tell you what, Bob, I'm so excited right now. I hope
Yeah.
I have plans for later, but I need something to come through for me before I can do my plans.
Okay.
And if it's the case, I might end up at my favorite wing place today.
Ooh. That's
A
exciting.
little splurge. I've lost a little bit of weight. I'm on a
Mhm.
diet. I've been no fast food.
That right there helps a lot.
I'm going to tell you, we ate Popeyes about 3 weeks ago, and no, I didn't need a diaper, but it really made me feel bad for about, oh, jeez. Fuck, I hate when that happens. It made me feel bad for days afterwards.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wait a minute, dear.
Well, it's got to work its
Just
way. It's got to
Bob,
work
there
its
we
way
go.
through your system. Yes.
But it bears down on your heart. It bears down on your belly. It bears down on your energy level. It bears down on your brain function. You just want to be a vegetable in a chair.
Yep.
You just don't feel. You have no gumption. You don't want to get up and do nothing. And my partner and I have been talking, and we literally. I went to the store the other day and I bought bread, tuna fish. I've been eating tuna fish sandwiches. And with a bag of potato chips. I've been eating, not that that's healthy, but that's better than running to McDonald's or running to Timmy Hortons and getting the turkey sub
Right.
or the turkey sandwich. Even though you might be eating healthy, you're getting out of the comfort of your home. You're
Mhm.
driving $4.30 a mile gas or a gallon gas.
Yep.
You're going to sit in line to get the food served to you wrong, more than likely. And then when you get done, you get home, you're done eating. Unless it's Tim Hortons, you don't even feel good when you're done eating. So
Yeah.
why are you doing this to yourself, I say? So we stopped. I go to the grocery store and spend $100 in a week. And we eat like queens in the house.
Mhm.
And then go out, we spend $25 to $40 a meal, more if we go out with adult beverages.
Sure.
And it's
yeah.
like just to fill your belly with something that's not even providing you what you need.
Mhm. It's
So
just
I've
all
been doing
about
really
it's about
good.
the taste. Yeah.
Right. Well, you can trick your mind. We talked a lot. I don't know if you heard the show earlier, but we were talking a lot about drug addiction and drug use and all that.
I did hear part of it. Yeah.
The same thing applies with this. We train our mind. And once you decide I'm going to eat healthy, and you get rid of all the extra sugars and all the extra stuff, and instead of reaching for M&Ms, you reach for strawberries or something else.
Sure.
It is filling. It doesn't feel like it would be as filling, but the
Mhm.
nutrients is more satisfying. Your body feels better.
Your body gets busy doing something with it right away instead of having to work its way through it to find some value. It's already on its way. I've been doing something a little different than that, probably the other end of the spectrum, but I'm finding out that it works, and I was curious about it, and I saw it on Facebook. It's something called intermittent fasting. And what that's all about is it's not like some people go on a fast for days on end. Well, that's not healthy. Your body needs energy. However, you can trick your system into keeping your metabolism going by doing this intermittent fasting thing where you have your meal and then it's the times vary a little bit. I've seen 16 hours off and then you can eat 8 hours during an 8-hour window what you want. It can go up to 18 hours. I just, for the heck of it, in the past couple of days, did it for 36 hours before in between meals, which really, when you think about it, if you're sleeping 8 hours twice, there's 16 right there. It's
Right.
not that hard to do. And that's part of what it's based on. But I'm finding that works pretty well. And it also lets you eat more or less. I mean, the way I'm doing it anyway, it lets you eat more or less whatever you want in portion control. There are some real serious people that are real serious about it. And I guess there are some specific plans and things you're supposed to eat. I haven't gone that far with it. I'm still going to eat what I want. But the concept in general seems to be working well. So,
And the trick is what I was getting at earlier, the eating what you want part, you can train yourself to not crave the junk food and
Mhm.
crave the strawberries, the bananas, I get frozen yogurt, it's ice cream, it's frozen yogurt. I do the peanuts, strawberries, cut up a banana. I got a big Jethro Bodine bowl. It's huge. I fill it and I put chocolate syrup. It's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not bad for you. It's not good for you, but it's not bad for you. It's
Right.
like it's better than sticking in a bag of chips and eating them and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
I just moderation and everything
That's
like
it.
that. But once you get used to eating the healthy foods, the other ones won't appeal to you anymore. You'll lose that urge.
Mm-hmm.
You will lose the urge to eat the junk food. And then when you have your favorite food again, you'll be like, whoa, McDonald's fries, I can barely eat them. They're delicious. I'm not knocking McDonald's.
Oh, not at all.
They're so freaking salty. They're not
Mhm.
any more salty than they've ever been, but I don't eat salt. I very rarely, the only thing that I put salt on at home is my homemade French fries
Mhm.
or my homemade potato chips. Other than that, you better grab the salt shaker, baby, because
Yeah.
I'm not salting it for you. Now,
Oh no, and that's the same here. In fact, yeah, unless it comes, I just whatever salt it comes with is what I get,
yeah.
and that's it.
Well, now I do garlic powder,
Yes.
onion
Oh yeah.
onion powder, but
Mhm.
even if you're using that salt or the seasoned salt is even too much. I used to take the Lowry's seasoned salt, pour a little in my hand, and eat it. Oh,
Mhm.
girl, not now.
No.
I put it on my chicken not long ago. I couldn't eat the chicken.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tastes different.
For sure, for sure. No, any of the powders are a great substitution. The garlic powder, the onion powder, the chili
Yeah.
powder, because those don't have the salt in them. If they do, it's very, very little.
Right. Better for you.
And it's a lot better for you, and the flavor is more intense. It's a good thing.
I
There's all
made
kinds of
fried
ways
chicken.
to work it around for yourself so that
Mhm.
it's a little easier to do. And if once it's easier to do and you can make it half of a habit anyway, then you're a long way toward being very successful as far as improving your health. Yeah.
All right, we're going to break. When we get back, we're going to finish this conversation because it leads us into our next topic, breatharianism.
I'm afraid of what this is, but I think I
I'm
know.
telling you, yeah, it does not involve a ball gag
Ah.
or deep throating a dildo.
Okay. Then I guess we'll figure it out.
All right, we are on break. It's officially break time.
Okay.
We will be back at 8:53.
All right. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go have another sneezing fit, and I'll be back.
All right, I'm gonna go make me go donuts.
All right.
See you in a few. All right, we're going to break real quick. We'll be back at 8:53. Don't go nowhere. Oh, better turn the music down a little bit. We got a minute left until we go back on the radio. Got to download the app if you're watching us on live stream. We appreciate it. We love that you're watching, but when you're not watching, you can listen on 9397 Network's app. Uh-huh. That's right. Oh, what a day. I love the fact that I can say what a day at 8:53 a.m. And I mean what a day by what a great day. Unlike other people that go, I can't wait till my day gets over so I can go home and be with my miserable spouse. You didn't want kids, you wanted a piece of ass, and it turned into a kid. See? See?
See?
All right, we're back on a Wednesday, helping you with all your dietary needs.
Like we're full of wisdom or something.
Absolutely. Did you know if you eat right, you don't need toilet paper?
Didn't know that.
I'm not eating right. I'm not taking the chance. Right? What is it? If you wipe 10 times in a row and there's nothing to wipe, then you can just go without TP. Until then, you're like a Charmin bear. They
We
love their
all
TP.
should aspire to be Charmin bears. Have a clean hiney.
A clean hiney is important.
It
Now,
is.
we've been talking about diet and all this crap and everything like that, but we do not practice what we preach. Right? I made fried chicken the other day, but it was in an air fryer.
Right.
I had high doubts of what the capability was of this thing happening. It was delicious. It tasted like fried chicken.
I have heard that. I have heard that from so many people that the air fryer is like almost the greatest invention since the toaster. I don't know.
I mean, so I doubted whether the breading would stay on really good.
Mhm.
Well, it was amazing. So you take the breading, you do, you make the breading the way you want it. I did equal parts flour, breadcrumbs, and Italian breadcrumbs. Plain and Italian breadcrumbs. And then I use a tablespoon of garlic powder, tablespoon of onion powder, and a tablespoon of Mrs. Dash extra spicy.
Oh, good. Yeah,
Mix it together. Did legs of all things, legs, and dipped it in the egg. Patted it really good and tight in the mixture. One time, I didn't do double dip or nothing, just a one-time deal. Cooked it for about 40 minutes total. I have an air fryer that's a slow cooker air fryer together. Oh my goodness, Bob.
Wow.
Delicious.
You have to bring some in for breakfast.
I'm telling you, I'm working on the cookbook, getting the recipes together. Been speaking with not only the network about putting the show on the 9397 network, which we're doing. We just got to get it all together. I've been talking to the other chefs too, getting it together. So
sure,
it's all coming to fruition. It takes more time than I expected to get it together, but it'll be a fun cooking segment, and we got to do it like a cooking segment here. We can't do Tasty Tuesday.
No,
but
not
we got
really.
to do a cooking segment and we get it somehow morph it to this show, even if it's just a finished product. We bring it in. We may have to microwave it. No, you can't do that. See,
no,
it changes everything. It's not a fresh cooked meal then.
Well, yeah, not only that, but you got to be so careful with the time because it takes only one small mistake to overdo it in the microwave, and then it turns into something that's a lot less desirable.
Yeah, more rubbery than anything.
Yeah.
So we go to grocery shopping. We've talked before, when you go to the grocery store, you're supposed to shop the outside of the store pretty much only.
Who does that?
Well, it's where all your produce is.
Right.
All your fresh foods, all your good deli meats, everything that's better for you, better quality, better. Eating strawberries is better than eating M&Ms type deal.
Well, true.
So this is another reason why we don't need TikTok. Okay.
Okay.
Viral TikTok shows an awful life hack. They got these life hack number 3, a can opener, whatever it is. Bring your suitcase to the grocery store.
I saw this on TikTok. Yes.
Where you see it on?
TikTok.
Oh, did you? I don't have TikTok.
No, actually, it was on TV and they played it from TikTok. So technically, I saw it
gotcha.
on
So
television, but it was on TikTok. Yeah.
Is it a good life hack or is it just dumb? Right? Is it solid advice or is it just another way you're going to become the strangest person somebody knows?
It's
Like the cat
definitely
lady.
clever. It makes sense. Well, and they did this at a grocery store where they don't bag your groceries for you, where you bag your own, you bring your own
Like an
bag or your own
Aldi or
boxes
something.
that you use from there or something. So they don't have bags, paper bags or plastic bags or anything like that.
I mean, if the suitcase is clean.
Mm-hmm.
So this one has wheels and a pop-up handle.
Yeah. Just like you'd be going through the airport.
You know?
It's,
Now, this lady's bragging about this genius life hack and everything, and others are going, what? She says, prepare to be laughed at. You'll get laughed at often.
right.
But the suitcase is carry-on size.
Mm-hmm.
She does use a shopping cart at the store and then puts the stuff in the suitcase at the checkout line and then rolls her way out.
Yeah. And if you walk to the store, it makes sense. If you then put your suitcase in your car, I don't know that it made that much difference, again, except for the fact that if they don't provide grocery bags for you, then
Well,
you're
even
at
if
the...
they do, you're not using them then, right? Environmentally safe.
Sure.
So
It's okay. I'd look and I don't know that I'd even laugh. I'd just say, well, that's kind of clever, actually. It's
well, you know, I don't think it's something to laugh at. It's just odd to see. You go, got a
Right.
suitcase. Well, it's to carry things in.
mhm.
It makes sense. And then she said she walks to the store.
Right.
So
Well,
it's not like she's putting everything in the trunk of her car and on and on. But even so, like you've got now the bags you can get, the bags like for groceries for the cold product or hot product you get. You can use several of those as well to cut down on the plastic and not use as many plastic bags.
some people use a backpack too. I mean, I guess it depends on what you're getting. Obviously,
Well, you can't be
carry
shopping with the backpack, putting stuff in there, saying you're going to pay for it either.
Well, that's
So,
true. That's
got to be careful with that. And stores, that's why stores quit approaching people until they're leaving. Because you never know someone's intentions. They might come in with a backpack going, I need to pick up a dozen items. They'll all fit in here. Why use the plastic?
right.
Well, when someone sees you putting stuff in your backpack, they assume you're stealing it.
Mhm.
Well, maybe you weren't. That'll definitely be the story when the police come up to talk to you.
right.
You know, were you taking your chances? And if you get approached, you'll pay. If not, you walk out with the stuff. Or are you just being frugal, going, hey, why would I not put it in the backpack?
Mhm.
So, yeah, use the shopping
Well,
cart. Once
say
it's
if you're-
paid for, whatever mechanism you want to use to transport it,
To carry it
so
out,
be
yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and I've seen that too. And I mean, and on the other hand, if you're not stealing anything, even if you get stopped on the way, you do look a little suspicious. You got nothing to hide. You got nothing to hide. It's like, here's the receipt. Here's my stuff. No biggie.
Well,
I understand it looks suspicious. It's just convenient for me, and that's the way it is.
and that's why she said, and it is, she goes to Aldi.
Right, exactly.
Go to Aldi with me and my suitcase.
Mhm.
Well, it's not I don't have a problem with it. I wouldn't laugh at her because you know what? I get laughed at because of the way I look. I go, well, you know what? Laugh all you want, but I laugh at me too. So,
Yeah.
but
You
don't
always
let
find
that scare you. It's not a bad idea. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll never do it. I'll just stick with the plastic bags. Maybe if you're really that conscious, bring the plastic bags back and now
Sure.
most have you can take your plastic bags back to
Mm-hmm.
and put it up.
Yeah. True.
And so you can discard them without throwing them away or whatever. There's so many uses for bags. Like, there's no better way to fill up a cupboard than empty bags. Get a bag full of empty bags and then fill your cupboard up with them. And every time you open the cupboard, they fall everywhere. And you go, why do I have all these damn bags around?
Another good use for them is if you're shipping things, say you're shipping Christmas gifts or something like that, and you got a whole cupboard full of them, that the packing that you'd go buy or the extra paper or plastic bubble wrap or whatever you would use, you can use those instead and stuff it in around the item. And there you go. All kinds of uses.
All this health talk. You know the best way to lose weight?
What's the best way?
Be a breatharian.
A breatharian.
Yeah, just be a breatharian. It'll solve all your problems.
Sounds like a dinosaur, sort of. A breatharian.
Well, here.
Right. I don't need, yes. Breatharianism
Can you hear
is a
it?
philosophy that believes that the human body, when it's in perfect harmony with itself and nature, is a perfect breatharian. Now, all of the constituents that we need is taken from the air we breathe. And the fact is, there is only one thing that keeps the human body alive, and that is breathing. The food that we take is the same as any other thing we take into the body, as it becomes a habit. In other words, eating is an acquired habit, just like drinking alcohol or smoking cigarettes.
Okay. I beg to differ.
that.
So, in other words, you could pick your nose and eat it for everything you need to sustain your life. Because what you breathe in the air is giving you what you need to live. So if you pick your nose and eat it, it'll save you from going to get chicken nuggets. That's how stupid this sounds to me.
Fastest food, yes.
So let's rewind a little bit here and go back. Who in the hell and what the hell were we just listening to?
I'm curious to know, because that sounds kind of strange.
This is a strange Bay Area diet cult.
Oh, okay.
It fell apart over a chicken pot pie.
Love me a pot pie.
Mm-hmm.
I eat because I'm unhappy.
All right, so this is the story of Wiley Brooks. Wiley Brooks was a self-proclaimed breatharian. Breatharianism is a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he claims. So this Wiley Brooks, founder of the spiritual and pseudo-scientific movement known as breatharianism. He's famous for spreading the gospel that humans can live on air alone. But didn't it say in the Bible man cannot live on bread alone because they need air? No, that wasn't it.
Well,
He claims he had not eaten in 19 years.
oh, please. Sounds like a bunch of hooey.
Sounds like a bunch of something.
Yeah. I don't believe that for a minute.
No, that would only work if the mother was a breatharian. Because we don't come into the world as breatharians from mothers that are breatharian, before we even get started, our blood is poisoned. You see, we already start at a disadvantage when we're born. So because of that, a person needs to be an adult, and that's why I don't even lecture people who are young about being a breatharian. First, you must kick the habit of eating.
Okay.
That's one habit I'm not kicking.
I'm not kicking the habit of eating.
Thank you very much. I mean, you can eat, you can drink, you can smoke, you can do all kinds of stuff, but out of all of them, eating, I'm not giving up.
Yeah. So they believe that the human body, when it's in perfect harmony with itself and nature, is a perfect breatharian. All the constituents that we need is taken from the air we breathe, according to Wiley Brooks.
Yep. Not convinced, Wiley.
So
Sorry.
just pick your nose and eat it. You'll be
Well.
fine. There's only
Not
one thing
convinced.
that keeps the human body alive, according to Wiley Brooks, and that is breathing. The food that we take in is the same as any other thing we take into the body as it becomes a habit. Would that be like putting a carrot up your poop chute? No, that's a different story.
Well, if that's all you got around,
Eating, I'm not wasting a good carrot like that. No chocolate covered carrots for this girl. Eating is an acquired habit, just like alcohol or smoking cigarettes. Do not try this at home. Now, he went on to make other strange claims, too, including that breatharian mothers don't need to feed their babies. Babies are born able to survive on air and sun. It's not a freaking solar panel, jackass. It's a kid.
That's right. Well, why hasn't one of these breatharian mothers birthed a baby and done this yet? Haven't we done a study on this?
He also claims that hunger strikers who die are killed by their death wish, not starvation.
Yeah. Not buying it.
I'm not buying it one bit.
Not buying it even
Breatharianism.
for a minute.
Breatharianism is an extended fasting.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hard. It's not intermittent, that's for sure. But no. Where does the phrase "starve to death" come from?
Apparently,
it's just
the will not to live anymore, I guess. I don't know.
Well, it's just countering the point. I think that's what breatharianism is, just basically starving to death. I don't believe that the guy could go for 19 years without nutrition.
Well, there's more to this story, right? Now, this breatharian sales pitch began with Brooks himself. Fit and dapper, 45-year-old man lifted nearly 10 times his body weight on national television. Now, he did admit to an occasional glass of water or juice. He claimed to need nothing else but an hour of sleep a night.
I'm trying to keep from laughing here at this guy.
I know. He says, of all the things we've heard about, we must get old, we must get weak. That is not the case, he said. When a person gets older and wiser, he should get younger. He should not die in an unhealthy body. You can want in one hand and crap in the other.
Thank you.
One fills up faster.
That's right. We'll hear from him when he dies. Then I suppose that's breatharians can also speak from the dead or something.
So how do you go about this? You don't just cut food out cold turkey. He said you don't just start with fasting. You have to clean your body by eating foods with a yellow vibrational quality. What the hell is that?
What?
A shaking banana. This encompassed everything from grapefruit, papaya, and chicken to Haagen-Dazs rum raisin ice cream.
Well, that's a diet I could get behind.
Well, guess what? Everything come crashing apart with one little shopping list to 7-Eleven.
Uh-huh. Twinkies and ding dongs and Slurpees and all kinds of good stuff.
So his shopping list on that fateful day in 1983 included chicken pot pie, chili, and biscuits.
Mm-hmm.
That was the list of Wiley Brooks. An unforgivable sin. Fathers and God himself had taken a bite out of the forbidden apple.
Oh no.
Man, that's some serious stuff right there.
What a horrible thing.
We're on a mission from God.
So he decided, you know what? 7-Eleven's the place to be. Now, the truth is, he sneaks into 7-Elevens and fast food places and eats just like us, except worse, because he has to rely on places that are open late into the night, like 7-Eleven and 24-hour McDonald's.
Right.
Another person said that he'd spotted Brooks drinking a can of Coca-Cola. Mass mutiny followed.
Mm-hmm.
So you would think people would just wrap up the Breatharian tent and go away. But no, instead of it dying out, the movement spread around the globe.
Well, there are gullible people everywhere, so it doesn't matter what race, what color, It's just at the speed of light.
I don't get it. I know people think it's crazy to believe in Jesus, or they think it's crazy to believe in a God that you can't see. It's crazy to believe this, that, or the other.
Right. Yeah,
But
believe what you want.
I don't know. I mean, I think food is a necessity.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think so too. And I think the whole healthy food thing makes sense also. I mean, obviously you're not going to live as long drinking Coca-Cola and eating Twinkies than you are, eating healthy vegetables and things like that. Now that's following the science, you see.
Uh-huh. So now, but his rules change all the time depending on what he felt like eating that day. In 1983, the co-founder is the one who said he loves Colonel Sanders. He could eat a dozen donuts in a single sitting.
So could I.
To which Brooks said, wait a minute. He said, the true message of breatharianism is not dependent upon whether I eat or not anyway. Yeah, it kind of is, right?
Yeah.
Like if God came down and said, no, Jesus wasn't for real, we'd have a hard time believing everything about it, right?
Sure.
If you're a believer now.
Mm-hmm. Seems to me like God wanted us to eat. I mean, there was the forbidden apple, not that they should have been partaking, but that was done. There was water into wine. There was bread. There was,
Yeah.
There were fishes. It sounds to me like we were meant to be eating stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, he wasn't done then. In 1993, his logic shifted again. He no longer believed food was an addiction, but it is a poison. But it could also serve as medicine. Yeah, because you were hungry, because you were starving to death.
Right. So
he said, a good steady diet of orange juice, honey, and Twinkies. Now you're 9 years old again, right? Mom and dad left you home alone, and now you're eating orange juice, honey, and Twinkies. You must have got into dad's stash in the garage.
Amazing.
But wait, in 1999, he opened a new Breatharian Institute in Santa Cruz and began teaching, focusing on the fountain of youth and how to obtain everlasting life and live from now on forever. He guaranteed it on his website.
I was going to say, what did he do for a real job? Because this seems like it takes up an awful lot of time and don't know how it gets you paid.
In 2009, the official gospel of Breatharianism was updated once again, this time with a convoluted explanation of how McDonald's cheeseburger meal and a Diet Coke can help keep a Breatharian healthy.
And there you go.
You went from not eating at all to let's get some junk fast food No offense to McDonald's.
Hmm.
Delicious, scrumptious junk.
Yeah. Oh, there's no doubt. It tastes great. Yeah. Nice evolution of theory there.
And now you can get from Brooks the quote unquote elixir of the gods, a 32-ounce bottle of water that supposedly flows from the legendary fountain of youth and immortality in the Garden of Eden. It costs up to $10,000.
Uh-huh. Plus shipping and handling, yeah.
The thing is, it's a guarantee. If you die, you can send for a refund, get all your money back.
Awesome. Crazy talk, I tell you.
Brooks is decrying the Illuminati because he says the Illuminati and chemtrails are making it harder to become a breatharian.
Life's tough.
Remember that part where you never know who you're standing to in the grocery store?
Right.
It might be him.
It could be. Or he could be behind you in the drive-thru paying your bill. Who knows? I don't know.
I mean, people have
Crazy
tried
stuff.
it.
Crazy stuff.
I can't
So there's
even.
vegetarian and veganism, and then there's breatharianism. That's okay. To each their own.
To each their own.
Go and Joni. I'm not joining you.
Although I am going to stay on my diet and I'm going to
Mhm.
stick to my new thing,
Right.
it's by no means eating healthy. It's eating less expensive and a little healthier.
Yeah.
But I like
Both good
fish
changes.
sticks.
Well, yeah, both good changes.
You know,
But,
I'll get fish sticks and make my homemade French fries in oil. I don't care. I'm not trying to eat healthy all the time. I need
everything
to,
in moderation. I believe that more than anything. And when you get too far out of balance, you know it and you pay the price for it and you try to correct course. But sometimes it takes us longer, speaking from experience.
Yesterday I had a tuna fish sandwich and the absolute worst Cheetos you can eat. They were baked Lay's Cheetos.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like eating dried up sponge. Not very tasty.
What was it?
But better for you. Just not real tasty. It's like just eating something.
I mean, come on, I'm a Cheetos connoisseur. The crunchy ones are the best ones.
Yeah, and you got to get done. You got to have
hairy.
orange all over your fingers. These
Right.
are barely. But I had a tuna fish sandwich with a bag of little chips.
Uh-huh.
Then I had a little tiny container of spaghetti, not even a full helping.
Right.
And that was for my lunch. And then when I got home last night, I had my ice cream bowl for dinner. The frozen yogurt
Mm-hmm.
with strawberry. No strawberries last night. It was nuts and chocolate. It was delicious. It tasted like a McDonald's sundae. Oh my God, it was so good. I love them.
Keep talking. You're making this intermittent fast today a little more difficult.
I know, right? Keep talking. But fast all day because tomorrow's St. Patty's Day. So you get the corned beef hash, the ham, all the things, and the green beer. And then when someone throws it on the table, it's disgusting.
That nasty hangover on the next morning.
I cannot drink green beer. I don't care
either.
if it doesn't taste any different.
Yeah.
I cannot drink green beer, nor will I.
It
I
looks
will
like
not
something
drink it in a house. I will not drink it with a mouse. I will not drink it here nor there. I will not drink it any freaking where.
That's right. Looks like something out of a cartoon comic or something.
Uh-huh. Well, that was green eggs and ham I was just reciting by Dr.
Right.
Seuss, right?
Green eggs and beer.
Green eggs and beer. Only on St. Patty's Day.
That's right.
Where is your God now, Wiley Brooks? Oh,
Funny
where we at?
stuff.
All right, yep, break time real quick here. Let's see. Go ahead. What?
I just said funny stuff.
Oh, yeah. You know what? All right, quick break. Couple songs for you when we get back. We've got a couple things to finish up. I got
Nice face.
a couple. There's nothing more Iowa or Canada than what we're going to be talking about coming up. So don't go
Okay.
anywhere. You're listening to Sapphire's Soup du Jour on Hot 93.97. We'll be right back.
I'm Sapphire. When I'm in the Detroit, Michigan area,
All right, we come back at.
Detroit's premier LGBT bars. The
Let's
Halo
see.
Saloon, where men
1,
meet
2,
men and everybody's
3.
welcome. Or the cheers of the LGBT Detroit bars, Adam's Apple, where they know what time you're coming in, where you're sitting, what you're drinking, and what time you're going home. Find them on Facebook today. Halo Saloon and Adam's Apple.
9:38.
Okie dokie. Gonna go do a little quick recording.
All righty. I'll see you in a few.
All right.
All right, we'll be right back. 9:38, we come back. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right. We're almost back. All right, we're back. Now we got to talk about a little bit about Canada and Iowa. Iowa, not that big of a deal. I don't know what you'd expect from an Iowa anyway. But if you own an ATV and you're interested in driving it on the roads, Iowa is the place to go. Could you imagine now? We live in an inner city area. Could you imagine throwing ATVs in the mix?
On the roads.
A compromise to plan to let all-terrain vehicles travel on more county and state highways has been cleared in the Iowa House.
Wonderful.
If it becomes law, ATVs on local highways would have to be equipped with headlights, taillights, turn signals, and mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, the drivers would have to be at least 18 and have liability insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Bad idea.
Yeah. I was going to say,
Bad
unless we're going to
idea.
add another bike lane, which is an ATV lane, then I guess fine. But, now you narrow the road some more, and pretty soon, what's the point of having a car? Yeah.
Now, Iowans would say, wait a minute, Sapphire, calm down. We're responsible. You don't understand. You're not from this area, which I say to you, you're absolutely right. The problem is, if you're driving it on I-80 or 94 through Iowa, people from Michigan are driving through there too. You are not safe on an ATV.
That's a fact.
Because we drive our cars like we rented it and are not planning on turning it back in good shape.
Yes, indeed. Not a good idea.
So right now, the existing ordinances designate where ATVs can go, but now they want to make it where they can go on major highways. All right. A 70-mile-an-hour ATV seems more dangerous than a motorcycle.
I guess.
Is it or not?
I don't know. I would think anything with 3 or 4 wheels is better than something with 2, but
so if we're going
I
to
don't
allow, that would be another argument for it. If you can allow motorcycles, then you should allow ATVs. It's a safer vehicle, 4 wheels instead of 2.
right.
But
are you
the
gonna-
suspension are like for the big wheels, and it just seems like there's not a good control. Like turn radius and accident prevention wouldn't be there. And then you got
would
the
think,
Billy
yes.
Bob with the real small penis and a tiny nutsack. And you got him with the big knobby wheels who decides to drive over cars because he's not slowing down for anybody. His name is Billy Bob.
I'd say between
He's got
that
2 first
and
names like Ricky Bobby.
for sure, between that and the huge pickup trucks that are with the huge wheels and that, there's not enough small penis little ball guys in the world, I don't think.
I hear, well, there's plenty of them, I'm sure. Remind me not to go driving through. It's more dangerous for the people on the ATV than the people in the vehicles. And they don't make cars anymore, right? Everything's an SUV now. So
yeah, you're right.
I don't like that. I like a car. Like I got an Equinox, but cars are nice.
I enjoy cars, yeah, and I hate at this point in the evolution of vehicles, it seems like everything is taller than you if you're driving a car, so it's harder to see anything around you. It's just, I don't know why the move away from sedans and from cars. I mean, we've always peacefully coexisted with SUVs and pickups. Why do they have to make them go away, or the cars go away,
Yeah, I don't get it.
Just wondering. They say because not enough people buy them. Well, I guess from a business perspective, if that's the case, then that's the case. But
I mean, supply and demand. If people aren't buying
I
the
guess.
cars, make something they're going to buy.
I guess.
The mini trucks kind of went away after the 80s and 90s.
Right.
They came out with the Ford Ranger, And they came out with all these little trucks, and then they went, well, now we need big trucks, and then we need SUVs, and All right, nothing more Canada than this right here. This is the headline. You cannot get more Canadian. Rollerblading, hockey stick yielding man chases woman in downtown and steals her talk, which is a hat.
Is that toque? Her toque?
Yeah. Her
Yeah.
toque.
Her toque.
Tick, took, took.
That's definitely Canadian speak.
Police arrested a man accused of wreaking havoc in downtown Victoria Monday while wearing rollerblades and yielding a hockey stick.
Bad boy.
Well, I mean, it sounds like a good party until the windows got involved. Monday, at about 1:30 in the afternoon, there were reports that a man was hitting garbage cans and windows of a nearby business. There's where the problem starts.
That's where the problem starts. Yeah, leave the windows alone.
Now, as the officers are headed to the scene of the crime, a third caller reported that the man on his rollerblades chased her down the sidewalk, approached her from behind, pushed the back of her head, stole her hat, and fled on his rollerblades.
Must have been some kind of special hat.
It was a toque.
A
What do you say? A toque?
A toque.
A toque.
Yes. Yes, Canadian lingo. That a toque is a hat, right? It's a type of hat.
Officers then tracked the man down to Trounce Alley.
How convenient.
Trounce Alley, where he attempted to evade them by rollerblading around the police car. Well, because going over the top of it wouldn't have worked out very well.
Right.
This isn't a Back to the Future episode where you just jump on your skateboard, go over the car, and then jump back on it. Only in the movies.
That's right. Don't try that, right?
Trounce Alley. Why do we name those? Dead Man's Curve, Trounce Alley. Why would you want to go speeding around Dead Man's Curve?
Take the hint. The title says
He was
it,
eventually caught, taken to the ground by a trip, get it, hockey reference, and arrested without further incidents. And he was given 5 minutes for fighting.
Yeah. Sat
Now,
back with
here's the
emulsions.
He was, what's that?
I said he sat back with emulsions during his time out and
See,
had to
Canada
think
got it
about
right.
what he did.
They didn't just give him bail. They said, we're going to give you bail, but first we're going to have a bail hearing, and you're going to face the charge of robbery. So at least then they don't just go, hey, we can just, how much money can we milk from him? And if he leaves, who cares? We got his money.
Mm-hmm.
But the streets won't be safe. But we don't care about that. We just say we care about that. We want our money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Where we at? No, we got plenty of time. We even have time for birthdays today.
Get out.
We'll get to them. We don't have to do them right this minute because there's probably not many. I don't really care about people enough to say happy birthday. I just say it to be nice.
Well,
I really
okay
don't care
then.
if you have a good day or not, because you probably don't care if my day's good. So
Oh, these people would care. They're all nice birthday people, as far as I can see.
people don't care, Bob.
Okay. I care. Maybe that's
I
my
know.
problem.
Well,
be.
no, the problem is not enough people care. That's the problem.
Well, yeah.
But we
It's hard to do it by yourself. Yeah.
Mhm. Survival of the fittest comes in. You start going, why am I going to do this when nobody else is doing it? It's hard to do the right thing in your mind when everybody's doing the wrong thing in your mind.
Mm-hmm. I don't like that
So-
phrase "survival of the fittest" because I'd lose instantly. I'm still not fit.
So Zelensky has spoken. Is that
Yeah.
true? Calls for the U.S. to help enforce a no-fly zone in Ukraine, which America's not going to do.
Right.
NATO could decide to,
Mhm.
and then America can help. But
Yeah,
this
it
is
should be.
not America's fight. This is the
Right.
world's fight
Yeah.
being left to Ukraine, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here's my gun, go kill a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm.
We need help.
Yeah. No, I agree. But again, and for once, it sounds like the U.S. not being, put in charge of saving everything. It does take more hands on deck, and it should involve more countries. And, it's a vested interest, like you said, in the world, not just here.
Yeah. I mean, that's absolutely. We won't even get into all that. It's unbelievable.
Yep.
His address, I'm sure, was nothing more than help us, and this is why.
Right.
Try to get people to realize, right? It says his recalled Pearl Harbor and 9/11 in an impassioned video plea to lawmakers for more United States aid as Russian attacks intensify in the capital city. It ain't gonna get any better anytime soon.
Doesn't seem like it. Doesn't seem like the peace talks are working at all. Although there were some rumblings yesterday, I understood that they might be coming closer on a couple of points. Ukraine wasn't going to join NATO, and I forget what Russia wasn't going to do, but like maybe invade Ukraine, perhaps. But that's as far as I heard, and did not follow up on it. So,
yeah, he has hinted that he does not expect his country to join NATO anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
Which was part of the butthole Vladimir Putin's problem to begin with.
Right.
In the mind your business category, it doesn't belong to you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about what Ukraine does, butthole.
Right.
He closed his speech in English, urging leaders to fight for their right to die when your time comes. I got news for you, President Zelensky. You will not see that from any other president. You will see the privilege of that office being moved to safety.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, not sorry. He said, Today is not enough to be the leader of the nation. Being the leader of the world means to be the leader of peace. Peace in your country doesn't depend anymore only on you and your people. It depends on those next to you, on those who are strong. Strong doesn't mean weak. Strong is brave and ready to fight for the life of his citizens and citizens of the world, for human rights, for freedom, for the right to live decently and to die when your time comes and not when it's wanted by someone else, by your neighbor.
I can understand
his speech.
Yeah, I can understand the feeling based on, again, precedent set over, years and years of us being the world's policeman, but it's not, it hasn't been, it shouldn't have been our specific job right along. And there's no point in starting it now. I don't know what good comes from it for us to go over there.
Mm-mm. Well, I mean, we got to stop them. That's it. That's it. Once we stop them, then hey, good. Then Russia can elect a president and be free as well. Now you know the value of freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're being lied to. They don't know what's going on over there.
Well, sure.
All right, birthdays. Do you have them ready?
I do have birthdays ready. They are right over here.
Flavor Flav is celebrating a birthday today.
I know. And that took me by surprise. How could he possibly be 63? How 63 years old, Flavor Flav. Are you kidding me?
I know, 63. Can't believe it.
Are you kidding me? I don't believe it. Eric Estrada, remember the old TV series Chips?
Oh, yeah, Punch and Shine.
Yeah, California Highway Patrol. Eric Estrada turned 73 today.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Our age, getting older and older. Remember when I was a kid watching that show?
Oh, yeah. Well, and Estrada got his Hollywood Walk of Fame star 2007. So that's already 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Who would have thought it? Who would have thought it?
Yeah.
That's right. Who thought
Ex-President James Madison would have been celebrating a birthday today.
Uh-huh.
You know, he died in 1836 at the age of 85. That was like an old man back then.
Yeah.
I mean, old
that
now.
Was defying all the odds, yeah.
85 back then? My goodness.
For sure.
Yeah.
Remember Chuck Woolery, game
Oh,
show
yeah.
host? He's
Yeah.
81 today, still doing commercials for painkillers.
I bet he is.
It was for the pain rub, the creams and things like that. I don't think he's moved on to the life insurance ones yet, but leave that to Joe Namath and a few others.
I know.
81 years old.
Wow.
Let's see what else from
There
Game of
was a
Thrones.
movie. Who?
As a Game of Thrones actor, Jerome Flynn is 59. If you're a Game of Thrones person, you know who that is. I personally
Never
do
heard
not.
of him. Never seen it. Jerry Lewis, movie actor's birthday today. I don't know how old.
Jerry
He'd be
Lewis,
91 or 92.
Something like that. Something like that. Sure.
Wow.
Sure.
We
Actor
already blew
Tim
out the
Kang.
songs.
Tim Kang from The Mentalist, another show that I've heard of but haven't followed, is 49
Yeah.
today.
Not familiar with it.
No, I haven't caught on. I don't have enough hours in the day to follow all these things. You know, it's like it's just crazy. Here's a birthday: Wolfgang Van Halen, son of Eddie Van Halen.
Oh, very
31
nice.
today. His band or his group is Mammoth WVH, I guess, for Wolfgang Van Halen. He's 31 today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have any more birthdays.
No, I think we're pretty much at the end of those. But that's a good. That's not a bad list at all.
No, if you're celebrating your birthday today, happy birthday. Hope it's a great one. Get ready for tomorrow, St. Patty's Day.
Indeed.
You got big plans?
No, just to stay out of trouble, actually.
Yeah, be home early because of all the crazies.
Yeah, it would be a good idea. It would be a good idea.
Well, there's two trains of thought. A lot of people go out early and do their day drinking, and then they drive home at 4 or 5 in the afternoon drunk.
Well, that's true too. And during rush hour, that's not such a good thing.
Rush hour will be gush hour tomorrow.
Ugh.
Do you have a word of the day?
I do. I'm trying to decide between two of them here, actually. Let's go with this one because it's more semi-obvious, and you might be able to work it into a conversation today. Pelvigraphy.
What?
Pelvigraphy. Pelvigraphy. You know, like a telegraph and another graph, the word graph, but it's pelvigraphy. And it's kind of what it spelled like. It's an examination of the pelvis.
Oh, I got to remember that word.
Yeah, get into a little pelvigraphy tonight. If you
No,
can
tomorrow for my big shenanigans.
Aha.
I'm not doing that. I'll probably go to Adam's Apple, have some beers, not green beer, yellow beer, normal colored beer.
Well, are you going to be doing the pelvis exam, or is everybody going to be examining you? That's the
They can
question.
examine me.
Okay.
Yeah.
As long as we're clear.
Go in with both hands, like forceps.
Ow.
I know, right? Where are we at?
Beautiful day outside here. Loving the sunshine. It's going to be warm outside. I'm actually going to probably, believe it or not, rake some leaves this afternoon.
Spring is right around the corner. I mean, it's right there.
You can smell it in the air, yes.
I think we're a week and a half or so away from actually warmer weather. Because I know we get in the north, you get a little bit of warmth, and it's a teaser, and then it gets back to cold again, and then you get.
We have winter.
April.
Yeah, we have winter, and then taste of spring, and then second winter, and then a little more spring, and then final winter, and then summer. It's kind of how we do it. Yeah. Nope, gonna be nice out. Gonna go enjoy some fresh air.
Gonna try.
Disconnect a little bit too. That'll be a good thing.
Yeah, always a good thing to disconnect.
Yes. Well, except if it's your one phone call.
Oh yeah, unless you're trying to do a radio show on the internet signal, then you don't want to disconnect. All right, that does it for us. Thank you for letting us in your house, car, or wherever you were listening today. And remember, Opinions are a dime a dozen. Validation is for parking, and loyalty is not a word, but a lifestyle. Life is too short to put your key to happiness in someone else's pocket. And in a world where we can be anything, be kind. We have no idea what a kind word or a friendly smile can do to impact someone's day, maybe even change their life.
For
forever.
sure. Mhm.
All right. Until I keep forgetting what day it is. It feels like a Friday. Until Friday morning, I'm Sapphire Pates.
I'm just Bob.
All right. We're out of here. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.
Go, man. Go. Open up, man.
All right. There's that. All right. We're out of here. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. If you're tuning in later, hope you enjoyed the show. Have a good one.
Have a great one. Take care.